Hey, what's up, everybody?
Happy New Year. Happy
Yeah,
New Year.
Happy New
I mean, I
Year.
know we 5 days late, but it's still new.
No, we ain't late. You know, some people say the true New Year is not till March 13th or 15th or something like that, according to Christ.
Okay.
hmm So, we may not be late at all. We might be
Yeah, early.
real early, yeah. So, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I didn't brush my hair, man. It's been one of them days.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah,
kind of.
dealing with a toothache and sore gums, and trying to fight a little infection off and stuff like that from it. But we still here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um. So anyway, moving forward, we were talking about and we were getting ready to talk about in our last video. Um.
And hold on. Please forgive me because I'm one of those people. I'm a tangent person. So once I get on the train, okay. My mind, like they say, what do they call that? Not just lizard brain, but squirrel brain. My mind liable to run anywhere. So I'll try to remain more focused in this newish year. But
No, okay, but it was your thing.
okay, anyway.
hmm
So what was happening is for some reason lately I have been okay. My meditation situation has been totally thrown off for something. I think it's too much going on, and I haven't been able. And part of it is with us trying to relocate and different stuff. Having to dismantle my meditation room has really thrown me for a loop. But what's been happening is Spirit's been waking me up like 4 in the morning and stuff like that, and it's always with a different thought. Well, lately it's been numbers, but these particular thoughts. And one of the things I thought about was, for some reason, can you name 10 times where you were truly happy? Now, let me explain before people start telling me all this, you start thinking about all this random stuff. 10 times where it was pure, simple joy. I don't mean, oh, when I bought my Jag, when I got my degree, when I went to Dubai. I'm not talking about 10 huge experiences in our life, because for some reason we always equate joy and happiness to major things going on. And it seems like the world makes you feel like whatever you've experienced is not important if it's not Instagram or Facebook worthy, or if it wasn't major. And I was laying down and I was like, okay, let me see if I could count 10 just simple moments of pure joy. And I was going through things in my mind. One of the things that came up for me is I want to say about 8-9 years ago, me and my sister took me to New York for my birthday weekend. Now you would think I say, oh well, that's a big. We went, me and her, but always like baseball, so we went to a Yankees game, and we went to see a Broadway play, and we hung out in Harlem and all this other different stuff. And everything that we did that weekend, it was great and it was a great trip. But there was one simple moment that stood out to me. We went to the play, to the Broadway show, and at the end of the show, the cast came out to sign autographs and talk with people. Now, I'm not one, I don't want to get nothing signed or take pictures, I don't do anything. But it was that simple moment of watching them be so open and nice, and people being so happy. That is the moment that stands out for me. Not everything else on that trip, just that. And that moment wasn't even about me. I was just there for it. And it was very difficult for me to come up with 10 times in my life where I could think of a moment, just that moment. My husband threw me a surprise birthday party. And we're not going to talk about the part where he busted up the night by kicking everybody out. We ain't gonna get into that part.
It was 2 o'clock in the
It
morning.
was not. It wasn't even midnight.
It was.
It was not even. It was not even midnight.
Well, let me put it this way. Let me put it. No, wait, no. Let me put it this way. I was up at the crack of dawn cooking and planning and preparing
And
and had
he
no
could have went to
rest.
bed.
And I did after I threw everybody out.
He stopped my party because it wasn't about
And then
me.
it wasn't that our neighbor was slamming doors.
I didn't care. But anyway, I digress. But my
well,
point,
we had to be respectful to the neighbors.
In,
That's why we trying to find a place with no neighbors.
Anyway.
But, now, if we get the place with no neighbors, then we can.
Then you still gonna kick folks out.
No, we're not, because then we got the. Okay.
Just stop. But my point is, in everything that happened that day, it was about 11:30, 11 something at night. And where we are, it's no street lights and stuff like that. So it's pitch dark. The only thing light we had was the little light that we had in the yard and stuff like that. And me and a few of our friends, we were singing all kinds of different songs we can. And that moment with all of us just laughing and singing songs we like, that was the I cannot, that was a moment of absolute pure joy. So my point is saying is, how many times, or can you count 10 experiences of simple, pure, just plain old joy for a moment? Something very simple, an ice cream cone, but where you just like, when you think of happiness, that's the moment that comes to you. And the reason why that's been on my mind also is, with everything that's going on with the world and everything that's happening in our lives, it's time for us to, everything else has slowed down. So to me, it's time to slow down what we put focus on. And at least for me, what I put focus on. What, you want a pillow?
Because I was folding clothes.
Yeah. What we put focus on, what is important, what are you prioritizing? Because there's nothing wrong with chasing the bag and securing the bag, and I get all of that. But
and Papa got a brand new bag.
All of that. But at some point, it's okay to be tired. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take a moment. And it's okay where in all of that time of you running and chasing and all of that stuff, if just something simple gives you a joy and a peace, that all the money and all the riches and trips and all of that, they're not gonna mean nothing. Every day my sister goes hiking, and she gets up in enough time for her to go, and she takes pictures of the birds she saw or the tree she saw or whatever, and those are moments of complete, utter, pure joy for her. And I think it's awesome that she's able to have that. And I just think, that's just my opinion, but I feel like we all should take moments to find joy in the smaller things. And because then the bigger things don't take so much of a priority. And if you don't attain them, you don't feel like a failure. You don't feel like you didn't get it and all of that different stuff. That's how I think.
I think one of my moments was, here in Chicago, we have what we call, traditionally at one time we used to call it the Outer Drive, Lakeshore, which is Lakeshore Drive. But back in the day, we used to call it the Outer Drive, where you can, drive around the neighborhoods and the downtown to get into the downtown area and stuff like that of Chicago. And it's a beautiful scenic view of Lake Michigan going north, into Chicago. And it is beautiful. And I just remember riding in my car, and the sunroof was open, and my favorite tune was playing, and it just seemed like if it was a movie and everything fell in place that day like you would see it in a movie, that's how it felt that day. Like it couldn't have been no other perfect day but that. And it was nothing but me driving, the breeze blowing, the sun shining, looking at the lake, heading north, and all the gears was falling into place. Everything was perfect. It was like almost the stoplights, and everything was timed to the music. It was just one of those sequential days that just kind of fell boom, 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 boom,
Mm-hmm.
And when I think back on that, it was very, very simple, you know. Um, just little things, like that. Um,
And I think people, that's all I'm saying, is people don't take time to appreciate, we don't take time to appreciate the little things, and we don't teach our children the importance of the little things. That's why when Christmas come and birthdays come, they want huge things, and every year you trying to outdo yourself, and it has to get bigger and has to. And I have to be honest, in my family, we don't do that. We don't buy all these designer gifts. We ain't spending $3,000 or $4,000. That ain't how love don't have a price tag. So we don't do that. My mother makes us stuff that we love and we keep forever. We give gifts that people will genuinely enjoy. Not just, oh, I got a Birkin bag. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna carry a Birkin bag. Why ain't nobody gonna bust my head? Take it. I mean, I got a Birkin bag for a whole 30 minutes. I mean, I'm just saying, I think it's important that we teach our children that, and then we learn it ourselves. That's just me.
well, I mean, I think happiness for some people is, maybe having a lot of money and being able to do, and the happiness for them is the freedom to do whatever they want. And you got other people that are happy just to floss. And that's one of those things, that I was trying to get into that was kind of in conjunction with this conversation. And I mean, you guys tell me. I mean, if you're going to be honest about it and just comment in our, in our video or whatever, on the timeline. But, um, do you place your self worth on things like, I'm worth something if I have a big house. I'm
Mm-hmm.
somebody if I have a lot of jewelry. I'm important if I
Yeah.
drive this kind of car or I have this kind of job or my office looks like this, then that makes me somebody. I mean, you don't think that you're somebody that God created in the first place, that He took the time to make you an individual from every detail down to your hair follicle to everything, to say, hey, you are a special person. And I think we get lost because we're in this digital world right now where social media and just the whole concept of imaging, now you have to dress a certain way or act a certain
Mm-hmm.
way in order, we base, a lot of people base our lives now on likes
Yeah.
and follows
And shares and
and share,
mm-hmm.
and if we're not getting that, then we feel down on ourselves. You got kids, even adults, committing suicide and killing themselves for likes. They didn't get the likes.
Yeah.
Nobody paid attention to my video, so I must not be nobody.
And we also have to recognize there's a difference between joy and happiness. Happiness is a temporary state of being.
Mm-hmm.
It is contingent on circumstances. Joy is an internal, all around, always. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't come from I have, I did, I get. That's happiness, because you could be happy and then you could not be happy. But joy is that thing that you want to carry. Joy is a heart or a liver or a kidney. It is that kind of important. And to me, I'm at a place where I no longer want to have happiness. I want pure D joy. When I close my eyes and visualize what I want to see in my future, I see joy. I don't see happiness. You know. I'm reading the book my sister got me. It's called Stay Woke by Justin Michael Williams. And it's about meditation. But one of the sections in the book that was great, it's about meditation. He's a African American, and he wrote it for people like us. And it's not your typical meditation book, but one of the sections of the book is about breaking your life down into different areas: your career, spiritual and physical, relationships, hobbies. And in that section, you talk about what makes you happy, or you talk about your life in the future tense, 12 months from, and you talk about how all of that is and different stuff like that and what you want it to be. And it gives you such a clear vision of what is really important to you and what really makes you happy. And it has, like I said, I'm still working on the meditation part. Certain things that he says, but that part of this book, huge book, and that particular section has really turned a corner for me in my life and how I see things. So
I haven't read Stay Woke because I struggle staying woke anyway. You know, I do. I struggle with staying woke.
yes, no, you struggle with staying asleep. I don't even understand it. I know we ain't talking about this, but he don't never sleep. He'll sleep for some reason. And I think that's going to be something we talk about another time, Bob's Burgers, but we'll get into that. We watch TV. We have a ritual. That's what we do. And we watch this show. He'll go through, maybe he might be able to hang in there for 2 episodes, which means an hour, and then he's snoring. But once I go to sleep, for some reason, then he up, and then he go to sleep, and then he up, and I don't know. Anyway, I don't I can't.
It's the shepherd in me, I guess. Got to watch over everything. If everybody sleep, ain't nobody got that eye open. You know what I mean?
And you ought to see him surveying the neighborhood. Like, what are y'all doing out there? But
Hey.
my sister hates when I say that. So moving right along, but I want you to go to sleep.
I am. And sometimes I have. I do. I suffer from sleep apnea, and that will wake me up. Or my sinuses. Sometimes I'll be in a good sleep, and then my sinuses decide, oh, he's enjoying his sleep too much. Let's drain in his throat and gag him and wake him up. And then I'm up, and then after that I'm up, and it's hard for me to go back to sleep, and then I have to. It takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to fall back to sleep. And now my 18-year-old is 19-year-old is living with us, and she works, and I get up in the morning early to let her in, and then it's hard for me to go back to sleep. And or sometimes it's just things on my mind, or just ailments, my back, my spine, my legs, something to start cramping and wake me up out of my sleep.
You better start meditating.
And those things just screw me up, and I have to get everything straight.
Well,
But
don't stay woke.
yeah,
Stay asleep.
I'm gonna try and stay asleep, but I want y'all to stay woke.
Yeah, but I really am curious as to, like I said, how you feel about that. What do you think in terms of that? What are things? Name a happy, just one one joyous thing you can remember. Whatever.
That didn't cost you anything.
No, there was no.
I mean, and if it did, it may been simple or very minor.
Or it might have been some cost that you spent on somebody, but it just, like I said, just a simple joy, just a joyous moment, just a moment, just a moment.
And I don't think many people have those moments that they can really say, "Wow," and
Right.
that's sad.
Yeah,
That's sad. But I think that comes from just appreciating the simple things in life. Hey, I'm up, I'm walking, I'm breathing. The trees are blooming. And the flowers are flowing. Everything is just
trees blooming, the flowers
right.
are flowing.
Yeah, let's flip it around. The trees are flowing, the leaves are and the flowers are growing, and all of that. The water is trickling, and the river is the whole thing. You know what I'm trying to say.
I have to tell you all before we go. The other day he was looking out the window, and it was funny. He was watching a squirrel, and the squirrel was running, and it was snowy and icy, and the squirrel was trying to gain purchase, and he couldn't seem to get no traction, so he get nowhere. And do you know, and I hate to say this is true, it was the first time I really saw him chuckle at just a random something, because he doesn't really smile, he doesn't really laugh, and he never seems happy, and it always bothers me.
No, it's not. I'm always smiling.
And I didn't say he didn't lie, because that's a lie. However, but I always love when I see him just random smile.
Nah, she think I'm supposed to just be around the house all the time, like
No, I don't. But I just, because you always focus so hard on everything that you want to get done and stuff, you never take a minute to just enjoy a moment. You don't do that. You don't. If stop, be honest. You don't do that. And I can't say
when you give me oatmeal cookies, I do.
okay, that's different. But I mean, and I had to, like I said, I'm not gonna say
Y'all
I
want to
did
send
it.
me some? I like oatmeal and white chocolate cookies and stuff like that. Oatmeal raisin.
That's just nasty.
I mean, that'd be nice. Y'all can send me.
That's just okay. But like I said, I didn't really think about it until I thought about it, and that's why I started paying attention. And I'm just gonna say this, everybody, take a minute. Our whole world is going back crap crazy in every way possible. Take a minute to sit down, and I don't care if you by yourself, if you with some friends. One of the other things I will share real quickly, New Year's Eve, we wasn't gonna do nothing but be in the house and just be. Some of my girlfriends was like, you know what, let's get together on the Zoom. And I was like, because I was just gonna go to sleep. And I had the absolute best time just laughing with my girlfriends. And so my wish for you all in this new year is just take the time, find some small little joy, play trivia, play a game, laugh with your grandkids, act silly with your husband, whatever it is, but just to find a moment of joy, because we don't know what this year is going to bring us. I'm expecting amazing things and wonderful things, but whatever it brings, I pray that you have that one moment of joy that you can always come back to in your thoughts to give you that clarity, that calmness, and that peace.
And on that note, we'll catch you on the next video. I think we'll start talking about herbs and all of that kind of stuff and things that help you, and and we'll talk about Bob too. But we're gonna get into the herbs and things like that, and then perhaps we'll talk about how we meditate and the things that we do to get focused on things. And hey, man, the only way you do it is watch the bell, ring that bell, tap that bell,
Yes.
subscribe, and every time we go live, that bell will shake and say, hey, those goofies are on there. Come check them out. I know, and I ain't trying to diss on nobody. I know we don't eat no lobsters, and
no, you're not likely to see us eating a whole bunch of stuff, and we probably not talking about no foolishness.
We're not that couple, but yeah. And I'm not knocking.
No, and it's not a diss to anybody. Mm-mm. Everybody has their thing that they into and that interests them. And how about this? We might not be of interest to you or the people behind you. You know what I'm talking about. But
yeah, I don't like seafood.
No, I don't like it either.
I used to, but
I ain't never liked it. I don't want it to smell like. Okay.
But we might do some eating challenges depending on what it is, and we like it. Okay, we keep talking about that, Bob.
All right, you all. I wish you greatness and
happy 2021.
Yes, roll them dice.
Roll them dice. We out.